All right, let's turn to gold. Prices there falling for the second straight month. Sentiment remains low in the gold segment, but could then this be the time to snatch a deal? Well, let's check in with Glen Diemar. He's from the Australian Gold and Copper, joining us now. Glen, good to catch up with you. So talk us then through why gold has struggled. Is it still about, well, I guess where the US dollar is in those bond yields?
Sure. I don't pretend to be an economist, Andrew, but always happy to talk about gold. And I think in the mining sector anyway, and in the junior space, which Australian Gold and Copper are in, there's some incredible uplift in some of the other commodities like lithium, as you heard from your last presenter, and some of the sentiment that short-term high risk money has just come out of the gold sector and also the base metal copper sector recently. But that always poses an opportunity as well, Andrew, as you know, as a little pullback in gold, short-term pullback in gold is a fantastic time to accumulate equities and some of the higher risk stocks, which have an incredible leverage to a very small moves in gold price.
All right, so you're saying it presents opportunity. Tell us what you're doing there at Australian Gold and Copper.
Always like to talk about opportunity in the exploration space, Andrew. This week has been quite spectacular in New South Wales exploration. Alkane Resources are based out of here in Orange, so Australian Gold and Copper is also based in Orange. Alkane just announced a 10 million ounce gold equivalent resource at their Boda discovery. Now that's a maiden resource, Andrew. So 10 million ounces in the first sweep, which is a really remarkable result, and it puts New South Wales on the map. And a rising tide lifts all boats. So we think the sentiment here in New South Wales is really growing, and as it has done for the last 18 months or so. There's been some incredible discoveries come out of New South Wales in the last 2 years. With all this drilling that's been happening, we're probably seeing the largest drilling boom here in New South Wales since the 80s. So there's been more drill meters put in the ground in New South Wales from the last 2 years than there has been in a long time. So thanks to our brokers and the guys on the front desks raising capital for the junior explorer space and the mining sector, we've been able to unveil some of these fantastic discoveries through New South Wales.
Yeah.
Sorry,
go on.
I was just going to say all the majors are in New South Wales. There's Evolution Mining, of course, with their tier one cow deposit, which is cow mine, which is 11 million ounces. We've got Newcrest Cadia, 50 million ounces here. We've got China Molybdenum mining the Parks mines. Metals Acquisition Corp from the US has just popped their head into New South Wales with a cool $1.1 billion takeover of Glencore's CSA copper mine. And Newmont, the largest gold company in the world, hold about 4,000 square kilometres of ground here in New South Wales. Fortescue are very active, Sandfire is very active, and that's because we see discoveries like Aurelia's Federation just a couple of years ago, which is one of the highest grade discoveries in Australia in recent times. So one of their drill holes hit 22 metres at 45% lead plus zinc and 32 grams gold, which had a sweet spot of 6 metres at 55% lead plus zinc, Andrew, and a cool 110 grams gold. So there's a lot coming out of New South Wales, and we always knew there would be. We just need those drill meters, which we're seeing come through.
Yeah, interesting. It's not all about WA. Just as much opportunity there as you talk about. So how comprehensive is that resource that you have access to? And given those large players you're talking about, does that perhaps place some of the juniors, such as yourself, as potential targets?
Yeah, sure. we all strive to be miners, but reality sets in during the long run up to building a mine and drilling out the resources. So it's really important for the junior space. It creates a healthy junior space to have those majors surrounding you in belts like the Lachlan Fold Belt and the Cobar Basin. It's very important to see those takeovers and those 10 million ounce discoveries next door, which we have here in New South Wales. So it's a great place. Kerry Stevenson's Australian Gold Conference is on in Sydney in June, the 13th and 14th of June. So, 14th and 15th of June. So, invite everyone down to that. So, if they're more interested in the gold sector, there's some very good keynote speakers at that conference as well, and Australian Gold and Copper will be there also. So, despite this slightly lower sentiment in gold currently, the long-term, medium to long-term trajectory for gold is still going in the right direction.